Welcome to Learn with Tareen. Join us for inspiring Islamic stories that strengthen faith and enlighten hearts. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for new stories. The night was spreading its shadows. The streets of the city had become deserted, but a small lamp still shone in a tiny house on the edge of the market. This was the house of Abdul Rahman, a modest tailor, yet renowned throughout the neighborhood for his honesty and integrity. Abdul Rahman's life was filled with simplicity. His daily earnings were limited, but he possessed a wealth that not everyone was blessed with: the passion to help others. He always made sure to set aside a portion of his modest income for charity, but in such a way that no one would ever know. Every Friday night, he would prepare a small cloth bag containing some bread, a little flour, and a small amount of money. Then, quietly, he would leave his house and head towards the homes in the neighborhood where hunger and hardship resided. Covering his face with an old cloth, he would knock gently on a door, leave the bag, and disappear before anyone could see him. This routine had been going on for years, but no one ever discovered who the secret benefactor was. Many struggling families in the neighborhood received these bags and considered them sustenance sent by Allah. One day, a new family moved into the house next door. It was a widow and her 2 young children. People said that her husband had passed away in an accident, leaving her helpless. Abdul Rahman silently observed their condition and decided to help them as well. The following Friday night, as usual, he wrapped his shawl around himself, took the charity bag, and reached the widow's doorstep. Just as he was about to place the bag down, the door suddenly opened, and the widow's young daughter stepped out. Abdul Rahman panicked and quickly stepped back, but the little girl had already seen him. "Uncle, who are you?" she asked innocently. Abdul Rahman remained silent for a moment, then softly replied, "Child, I am just a traveler who has brought something for you." The girl looked at him curiously and said, "Do you come every week? My mother says that Allah sends an angel who leaves food for us. Are you that angel?" Tears welled up in Abdul Rahman's eyes, but he composed himself. "Child, I am not an angel, but Allah always sends help through someone." With that, he placed the bag near the door and quickly walked away. After that night, Abdul Rahman became even more careful, ensuring that no one saw him delivering charity. But Allah's ways are mysterious. One night, while he was on his usual route, a man stopped him. It was the neighborhood's imam, who was on his way to the mosque for the late-night prayer. The imam looked at Abdul Rahman closely and then smiled, saying, "Son, the good deeds you are doing will earn you great rewards from Allah. But why do you try so hard to hide them?" Abdul Rahman lowered his gaze and said, "Imam Sahib, I want my charity to be solely for Allah's sake, not for any recognition. If people find out that it is me, my reward might be reduced." The Imam placed a gentle hand on his head and said, "Allah knows your sincerity. Remember, hidden charity carries immense rewards. But sometimes letting people know is also important, as it encourages others to follow the same path." Abdul Rahman remained silent, but that night As he returned home, he felt a deep sense of peace. He knew that what he was doing was pleasing to Allah. Months and years passed, and Abdul Rahman's routine remained unchanged. But one day, he fell seriously ill. His condition was so severe that he couldn't even leave his bed. When the neighbors learned about his illness, they rushed to his house to take care of him. Among them was the same widow whose doorstep he had left charity on for years. In her hands, she held a bag, just like the ones Abdul Rahman used to leave. "Brother, today this is for you," she said. "When we were struggling, a silent benefactor supported us. Today, Allah has blessed us enough that we, too, can help someone in need." Tears filled Abdul Rahman's eyes. He now understood that good deeds never go to waste. The hands that help others are never left empty by Allah. A few days later, Abdul Rahman passed away, but the light of his good deeds remained in the neighborhood. Inspired by him, people began helping the poor. Every Friday night, charity was discreetly delivered to many households. But who was behind it? No one knew. Such is the mark of the true servants of Allah.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and the bell notification icon.